Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to some more Minecraft Survival, where last episode we finished this half of the custom village project. And if I just take a fly on up here, what I mean by this half is everything on this side of the river is actually done. And I do just want to say a massive thank you for everything you did last episode, all of the comments, all of the likes, all of the views, everything. It was really well received and it's just great to see such a good response to this series because I love making it and I love that you guys love watching it too, so thank you for that. But we do have some things to do today, but we'll probably come back and do them at the end of the episode. What I mean by some things to do today is things to do in the village. We'll come back and do those at the end of the episode, such as naming our donkey, mule and horse, as well as a couple of other things. But today, the bulk of the episode will be spent a little bit over that ways. And you're probably wondering, what's over here? Well, we have my villager trading hall on this boat, but we're going to sail right on past that in our smaller boat, where I'm accompanied by a little bee buddy here, as you can just about see. But eventually, we will start to load in some icebergs, and I thought, while I was flying around here, it would be really cool to turn one of these icebergs into a base. Now, I don't really need a base, obviously my main one is just over there out of render distance, but I just thought it would be a really fun build to kind of transform one of these icebergs, I'm actually thinking this one right here, the closest to my starter house, into some sort of survival base. I'm being hit by a trident. Oh, it's you down there. There's tons of drowned under the ocean here. Surprise, surprise. And there's too many of them. One holding a fishing rod. Did we get the trident? I don't think we did. Can we get the fishing rod, though? That would be even better, right? Probably not. No, I'll just take the rotten flesh. Thank you very much. So I've just been sat up here on my temporary scaffolding pillar, taking an overview of the iceberg, trying to get an idea of what I actually want to do with this thing here. And I think the plan is to just use this main point itself, as well as this small one to the right of it, and then this little section here to the left. Everything else I don't really have any ideas for, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it and try and clean things up. Obviously we'll have to relocate a couple of polar bears, because I'm thinking maybe we could incorporate those guys somehow and don't just want to leave them swimming in the frozen ocean. That wouldn't be very kind of me. Let's just actually go around to the back and take a look. Is that a bee? Yep, that is one of my bees. That should be in the loft of my starter house that has obviously got pretty sidetracked. You should try find your way back home, buddy. But yeah, we got some more polar bears around here that we'll have to do something with, move them to a safer spot. But yeah, I'm thinking to start things off here before we actually do any building is I'm just going to clean up the area a little bit and get rid of the surrounding slightly uglier icebergs. Okay, come on buddies, where are you going? You're all over the place here at the moment. I've made a little ice platform here for you to stand on because there's no room at the top of the scaffolding. We've already got 2 polar bears up there. I think 2 is enough. So you guys will have to stay down here until you're ready to move into the iceberg base with me, which won't be just yet, but it will be soon because we are now ready to start building. Yes, we are. We're very ready to start building, polar bear. But before we do, let me quickly run you through my vision I have for this place. So, as I said, I was staring at this for a while, trying to think what to do, and I think I've got a pretty good idea. So the main part of the base is actually going to go inside of the iceberg, as it's basically hollow completely. But then we have this top section at the very top of the iceberg with all of the snow that I'm thinking maybe we turn into a bit of a platform and have our bed there. Maybe we get rid of this front ice and snow combination just to have a bit of a better view, maybe. So we can have something at the top there. We also have this little carved out section right here which we could turn into a window, and maybe have another one here perhaps, I'm thinking around about there. And then we're also going to carve out a little area here and turn it into an entranceway so that we can boat on through. We actually have a bit of a natural one similar to what we're going to do around the back, which we can turn into something a bit nicer as well. And then as for these two sections right here, I'm thinking over here we turn it into maybe some sort of like miniature crop farm. I should say I don't actually plan on using this base. I'm sort of just building it for the heck of it. So I will probably use the bed from time to time, but something like a crop farm probably won't even get touched, but something there that we could kind of build on top of the iceberg itself. I've just realized I cleaned up all of the actual ice around the water, or around the iceberg itself, but it's going to keep on freezing over there. I guess there's nothing I can really do about that unless I wanted to build blocks really high up in the sky, but I don't, to be honest. So we're going to do that for the left side. As for the right side, I'm thinking maybe we have like a bridge connecting from this section here, maybe where the window is. We could turn it into an entranceway leading across a diagonal bridge to this one over here, and maybe have something hollowed out inside of that one perhaps. That's what I've got at the moment. I'll probably add more ideas as we build along, but yeah, I think the first thing we're going to do is maybe clean it up a little bit and possibly just start with that top section there. So at the moment, I'm trying to make this iceberg a bit more berg-like, because right now it just has so many sort of cuts and slices in, and I'm sure icebergs in real life do have this sort of thing, but I want something that's a bit more solid. And when it comes to Minecraft, the slices and just the random holes in it don't look particularly good. So I'm just trying to kind of build up this to make it look somewhat natural, but also good at the same time. So I'm sort of trying to just fill these in. Like for right now, what I may even do is just sort of do that and cover it all up, and we can fumble around with that when we're actually working on the inside, making it look good. But yeah, I don't want this sort of thing, so I'm sort of going around trying to cover all of these up at the moment. And the other thing I'm doing is trying to enclose ourselves in at the top. So I got rid of the really tall ice spikes and I've shortened a couple of them down, and I'm just trying to make this natural looking ice wall to kind of close ourselves in, as I said. And I may leave this front section open just so we got a nice view, if my render distance was a bit higher, of our starter house over there. You can just about see the silhouette of a palm tree on the Turtle Island there. Okay, how is that looking? If your answer was still like an iceberg, then that is exactly what I was looking for. I wanted to change it up so it just suited the building style we're going to go with here, but also didn't really just ruin the actual shape of the iceberg. I think I've done a pretty good job. I really need to do something about the ice here, and I've just remembered torches melt ice. So what we're going to do for the meantime is just place a couple on the edge of this iceberg here. I don't really know why it's only growing in this spot, or freezing, I guess. Growing probably isn't the right term, but it is for some reason. So we'll let that melt, and then I may just break off these bits around here, and hopefully that should stop the spread a little bit, because it doesn't really look very good, does it? You know, Polar Bear, I really wish you could shift on top of scaffolding, but no, alas you cannot. You can only shift on the bottom half, which is strange, but it's okay. Anyway, on to the next step, and I think what we're going to do now is actually sort out our entrances. So like I said, we're going to have the one round the front here, and then we're also going to turn the one round the back here into something that looks a bit better. There is ice melting or freezing around here. Okay, guess I'll have to place a couple of torches here and here, and also over there, but then again, that's the area we're going to be working on, so maybe having the ice to stand on would actually be pretty good. But these entrances, and basically most of the base, is going to be done out of, can you guess what block? What block do I use all the time in this world? Endstone. No, just kidding. Spruce. It's going to be made out of spruce. So I'm going to fly back home, grab some of that, and maybe make those entrances look a bit better than they do right now. Also, make them into actual entrances, because that front one currently doesn't exist. Turns out I have next to no spruce wood, so I'm up here getting some more, but I'm not actually going to chop this tree down, because recently someone told me I was a sucker for doing that. Some of you may know what I mean when I say that, but I'm going to use TNT, and I don't know if this is going to go poorly or really well, but I thought, let me record it, because hey, that's always going to be fun, right? If I'm blowing something up, I should always have the record button ready to go. I'm probably not doing this in a very efficient way. Actually, I know I'm not, because if this TNT goes off afterwards, it's going to blow up all of the drops that this one gives. So let's just do that and maybe actually not stand right next to it. Okay, that did an explosion. Did it actually do much damage though? I don't know. Maybe I should set up an automatic tree farm. That probably would be best. That's not how redstone works. Let's get down here maybe, see if that works any better. I mean, it's okay, but I think I'm going to stick with an axe until I actually have something automatic set up. Plus, I kind of like chopping trees down. It's quite relaxing. Once we have the base built up the top there with our bed, we are going to have a great view of the sunrise and also the sunset, but that's a little ways off. Anyway, I have finished the 2 entrances, so here is the one at the front. Let's actually head on down and take a bit of a closer look. So I am going to keep the bottom level as water, just so we're able to actually boat on through. I think could be pretty cool. It's looking pretty dull at the moment. I will make this look better, don't you worry. But the idea is to have this obviously as our open iceberg cave of sorts, and we'll be able to, you know, swim around in here, but we'll probably have some platforms to stand on to actually access the top there. But for right now, let me show you the other entrance here, built on a diagonal. A little bit weirder. I'm thinking maybe we actually need some more trapdoors kind of around here. Not there, circling around the top part of the pillar, possibly. Does that look better or worse? I'm not sure. I still need to figure out what to do here, because I don't know if it's just me, but I'm never really a big fan of when a build only connects on the diagonal there in that little corner. I feel like I need to have something here, but I'm not exactly sure what. Possibly a slab. Do I have one of them? I believe I do. There we go. How does that look? Yeah, I'd say that looks better. Cool. Okay, so there's one entrance done and then the front one as well. I think what we're going to do now is start melting some of this ice. I guess I can just stick a torch in the middle here. Actually, that's going to cause a problem. We'll need to replace that with a full block and then torch it up. Okay, cool. That should go on melting. What we're going to do now is actually sort out the inside here. Figure out where we're going to actually get off of our boat and be able to stand, because I don't really want to constantly swim around. And I think what could be pretty cool, I'm not sure if this is going to be possible, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a try, is if we can have some sort of staircase made out of ice kind of winding around to the top section there where I said we're going to put our bed, just up here. Oh, buddy, we now have a staircase, and it's certainly not the most efficient staircase or convenient, and it's definitely not the prettiest. We are using full blocks here instead of spruce slabs and stairs, which is what I'm maybe thinking I should have done, but it's a way to get from the bottom to the top, and I quite like it. I think it blends in pretty well with the iceberg itself, but looks enough like a staircase so it kind of stands out. This is how it looks from the ground level here. The only thing I'm not too super keen on is how this looks, so I will probably modify that once we got a better idea of how the inside is gonna look. But yeah, there's our staircase. I think the next step of what we need to do, if we just go ahead and land up with our polar bear buddies. How are the 2 at the bottom doing? Still okay? There's one of them. Where's the other? Just round the back. Okay, cool. Haven't lost any just yet. I'm not sure where they're going to join me. Maybe at the top there where the beds are going to go. Not sure just yet. But I think what we're going to do next is sort out all of the rest of this spruce stuff that we're going to be using. So like adding in that window there, a way to get to the top of this iceberg, and then the entranceway that's going to lead to the bridge going across to this iceberg over here. And there's that sunset. Really quite a beautiful shot, I think. Gonna look super cool when it's all done. Alright, this is looking pretty cool. Now, this may not seem like a lot, everything I've done here, but it's probably been about maybe over an hour since the last clip. This is actually really finicky. It may look pretty straightforward from this far away, but if we just actually get my rockets on the hotbar and go a bit closer, let's say to this window here, if I just rocket myself into the wall there, there's a lot of slab stairs and trapdoors and finagality. That's definitely not a word. But I was finagling with this for a while, trying to get it to look good. And I think I've done an okay job. This one isn't actually going to be a window with glass in it, just because it's not simply, it's just not going to work. So that's one window. The one around the front here, which I added in because I felt like this little bit was missing something. We can definitely add some actual glass into this, and you can see I connected up to the staircase here. Still maybe got a bit of refining to do with that, but I'll wait until we sort everything out on the inside for that one. So that one took no time at all, but what I spent a long time on is this bridge right here leading to this iceberg over here, which I actually had to pretty largely expand. This whole section wasn't actually here. I brought this bridge up diagonally from that little section and realized I had missed the iceberg by about 4 blocks. So I had to build another section up just to the side of it, but it's okay. So yeah, this is our bridge. It's probably not the best looking bridge you've ever seen, but if you've ever tried to build a bridge on a diagonal before, or just about anything on a diagonal, you will know how difficult it can be. So I think I've done an okay job, all things considered. But yeah, that is basically every single entrance or window that is going to be on show. I may add another one down here, but what I've sort of done is just sculpted the ice so that you're able to walk down to whatever we put on top of this iceberg, which is what we're going to do next. Sort out what's going on there, possibly what's going inside of this iceberg, and then finally, or not finally for this clip, sorting out our top part of the iceberg base at the very point here. This sheet of ice is forever expanding. It just keeps on freezing and I really need to do something about it, otherwise it's going to take over the entire ocean. But I'm going to sort it out after this clip. I'm thinking I may need to research how ice actually freezes and grows, because I have no idea why the entire ocean isn't doing it. So there must be some sort of variable over here that I can sort out. But anyway, progress has been made, as you can see, starting off with a little bit of a carrot farm over here, which I've just left as a way to get down through the ice, that we can just kind of staircase down and maybe fall a couple of blocks, but it's all good. We just got a nice simple carrot farm over there, added some glass to our window, also sorted the base and the bed up the top there. So let's actually fly up and take a quick look. As you can see, I haven't honestly done a whole lot to it. I wanted to keep it fairly open for the most part, just so we had this nice view out the front here, which will actually be pretty empty once we get rid of our scaffolding tower. But still, I wanted to have it fairly open so there's not a whole lot going on here. But if we just take the staircase down, knock our head on the ice a couple of times, probably going to get a concussion if I do this too often. But you can see there's the window, or the glass window that we just added in. And then if we just cross over this bridge, which by the way I love doing, I don't know why, it's really silly, but I just love crossing bridges in Minecraft. Especially when they're ones you've made yourself. There's just something kind of nice about crossing over a bridge. I don't know. Do you guys get that too? But down here we have a ladder leading to an unlit nether portal, and it's currently unlit because I'm thinking one time soon in one of my streams, link in the description by the way if you want to follow me over on Twitch, I'm going to do a live stream where I sort of set up a miniature nether hub of sorts. I don't really have a good way of getting around my world currently. I either just fly there through the overworld, or I go a really weird way through the nether. So I think setting something up a bit more permanent would be a good idea. But yeah, I thought over here would be a nice spot for a nether portal, far enough away that we won't hear it when we're actually in the base. The episode here is getting on a little bit, and I need to start wrapping things up. To be honest with you, I lost track of time a little bit, and I don't want the episode to go on forever. So what we're going to do here is just wrap things up, and then I'll show you around when it's all finished, because yeah, need to save time for what we're going to do over in the custom village before we say goodbye. And I've just noticed that ice is growing again. I thought I sorted it, but apparently not. So yeah, next time you see the iceberg base, guys, it's going to be all done. I'm in my boat, we've got the shaders on, I am ready to give you the grand tour. Here we go. This is our finished iceberg base, looking basically the same from the outside, to be honest. Not a whole lot has changed other than we've added in our polar bear buddies, which we'll take a closer look at in a sec, because a couple of them are actually on the inside, but that's really where most of it has changed, on the inside. So let's sail on in and actually have a look. Now there was just a skeleton here, so hopefully he's gone. Oh, there's a polar bear friend. Hello, buddy. So this is what we've got. Let's just take a bit of a overview of everything going on in here. Hopefully this guy doesn't drown or push me in the water. That would be not particularly nice of him. But you can see we have these sea lanterns hanging from chains as lighting, as well as a couple of these smaller soul lanterns, which don't produce a whole lot of light unfortunately, but I think they just look pretty cool and I wanted to add them in. We've also got a map of the iceberg biome that we're in and a bit of natural land over here. And this is actually our base. Just had this big open spot and I wanted to put a map here. Also why there is a massive painting up there. I was very close to hitting you then. I apologize. But yeah, got a little bit of a workstation over here on this size platform. Another thing over here, and I've also added in these acacia logs as structural supports. I was debating with actually getting rid of them, but I think I've decided to keep them just to add something else to the base. You know, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. So if we continue on up here, not a whole lot has changed other than we've got some flowers in the walls. It's like shelves sort of thing, and this basically continues on to the top. The only thing I've actually changed up here is I switched this out from dark oak to spruce, just because everything else is spruce. It seemed weird having dark oak at the top there. But let's actually plop on back down to this level where we have our window over here to gaze out on, where we're getting some nice world generation glitches. Always what you like to see. A couple of bookshelves and just some storage, that sort of thing. Again, I'm not really going to be using this place, but wanted to add some survival elements in anyway. We've got another polar bear friend over here with our bridge that is still the same as last time we saw it. There's another one of our polar bears who's meant to be staying up the top with me. The plan was to have one over on the right side, over on the left side, up the very top, and then actually inside the cave itself, or the iceberg itself, I should say. But they're probably going to roam around and get lost and probably end up back in the ocean, but what can you do? But yeah, that right there is actually the base all done, and I absolutely love how this looks. I really hope you guys do too. The finished product is perfectly. It's very homely in here, isn't it, polar bear? Oh my goodness, you're just going for it. He's where is he going? He just climbed those steps so effortlessly, better than I can do it. Yeah, you can't get out of there, I'm afraid, bud. You wanna go see your friend, don't you? You can. I'm sorry. You were a pain in the butt to try and get in here with the leads and the boats, and I don't really want to move you around again. So there we go. That is the iceberg base done. Oh, polar bear, you're getting very close to the edge now. I would stop that if I were you. And to fix the ice problem that we had over here, I basically just put a bunch of packed ice above where the ice was forming. I still don't know why it was doing it, but it seems to have stopped now. So all is good. Hopefully, we'll keep our fingers crossed, but I'm not going to be over here too often, to be honest, so it shouldn't actually be loaded in and be able to freeze. Where are my polar bears going? They're all over the place. But anyway, that is the iceberg base all done. As I said, really hope you guys like it. Let's head over to the village now and do a couple of things there. First things first, we have to name our horse, donkey, and mule. Not these guys over here, they already have names. This is Apollo, as you can see, and this is Juno. We're on about these guys over here, who we actually went and found last episode. We already had this guy right here, who is going to be called Cash, and then in the middle, we breeded our donkey with Cash to create this mule, who is going to be called Poncho. And then finally, if I can just get back out again, we have our donkey over here, who is going to be called Eorn. There we go, Eorn, Poncho, and Cash, and that was a comment left by Ahmed, so thank you very much, dude. Those were some perfect names for all of our friends here. The final thing I would like to do is to semi-populate the village. So we already have some villagers living in Fisher's Nest over here, but not a whole lot of them. Most of them are either inside of their specific profession buildings, like those farmers over there, or they're all congregated in small spaces like these guys are. And apologies for the frame rate, it just always happens over here with the village and shaders. It's not a good combination, but I would guess, I don't know how many exactly, quite a lot of villagers just sat in my villager breeder, which is underneath this campsite here, and we're just going to bring probably all of them over to the village and set them free. But first of all, I gotta go to bed because I definitely do not want to do this at night time. Excuse me, sir, may I borrow your bed if I could reach it? Thank you very much. Well, this is certainly something I didn't expect to see today. We have a nice villager stat going on here. I also have 3 others just kind of floating on the rail somewhere. There they are over there. They've probably gone back down to the villager breeder itself. But yeah, they can't get down anymore because it's stacked too high. So I think what we need to do is very carefully break all of these minecarts. Probably should have done that from the bottom upwards. A lot of them took damage there, but I'm curious, where are you guys going to go off to? I think it's now working hours. I just assume most of them are probably going to become fishermen, but you have surprised me. A leather worker. Nice. Okay, yeah, it would be nice if we could get like a pretty good stretch of jobs and not just have all fishermen, but that's probably going to be the most common because there are just barrels everywhere in this village. But okay, you've gotten inside the library itself. Fair enough, you can stay there. The idea is just let them free roam, so that's what I'm going to do. But I should probably save these 3 guys over here first. Villagers have been saved, and they are currently wandering around the village in search for a job, and they probably all have one by now, I would imagine. The majority of them are either fishermen or leather workers, but that's okay. I think I saw a toolsmith in here. Indeed I did. He's picked up the smithing table as his own. That is pretty cool. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have dumped them all off in the same area, because now they're probably just going to bunch together like the lot that are over there in the garden. Hopefully they walk around a little bit. But yeah, I will obviously bring in more villagers as time goes on. I think I might need to rebuild my villager breeder because it is really slow. That took a lot of time to get all of those villagers that I've just brought over. So I may have to rebuild that, but I'm hoping they actually start breeding sometime soon. There are enough beds and doors or whatever makes a village nowadays, I don't really know, but this is an actual village. They should start breeding in theory. There are plenty of beds to fill up with little baby villagers, so fingers crossed we should see some of that sometime soon. But I'm going to clean all this up and say goodbye to you guys. So thank you so much everybody for watching this episode. I really hope you did enjoy, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.